Is English related to Chinese? Like, how do we know that way back when they weren't just one language? Well, we don't. There's actually some good reasons to assume that most modern languages actually do stem from the same language. But it's complicated because the evidence for this is more genetic than linguistic. So for instance, we can use linguistic evidence to make pretty precise claims about the relationships between different languages. So like, we're virtually certain that English and German had a common ancestor about 2,000 years ago. And this is from using the comparative method of linguistic reconstruction. But there's only so much information that can be preserved in modern languages or in text. So at some point, linguistic reconstruction runs out of fuel. So right now, the oldest ancestor language of English we can reconstruct is called Proto-Indo-European, and we know it's not an ancestor of Chinese. So English and Chinese could be related, but we just don't really know how because we don't know all the sub-branches and sound changes that led to these splits. So we can't reconstruct the ancestor language, but we can kind of reconstruct the ancestor population using ancient genetics. Like, we actually know a decent amount about the chronology of ancient human migrations and population splits and merges. And although languages and genes don't always correlate, we do know that there were some population bottlenecks where they probably only could have sustained like one language. One of these bottlenecks was about 70,000 years ago, and it reduced the total non-African population of humans to only about a few thousand people. And this could have easily collapsed linguistic diversity to only like one primary language. And I'd be willing to bet money that English and Chinese both descend from this language, or potentially one even more recent than that. And going crazy far back, it might be like this with all human languages. Because language is a universal in all human populations, and it seems to have affected our evolution. And people don't just make up languages, they get them from their ancestors. So if at any point in human history populations were low enough to only support one language, then all of our languages descend from that language. Or at least there's a good chance. But in terms of how all modern languages are interrelated and stuff, we can only go so far back. And so we need to be open about the large gaps in our knowledge.